Hey everyone, welcome back to the Your Arms Life channel. My name is Jenny. If you're new here, in today's video, I will be giving you guys some college advice. And what are my credentials? I am actually graduating in a month. That's actually crazy. But yeah, I've been at CSU for 4 years and I am in the honors program and I am graduating summa cum laude. And I have actually really enjoyed my time in college, but I'm gonna be so honest, there are definitely things that I've regretted. So those are my credentials. And with all of my experiences that I've had at CSU, I give you my advice. So I have some notes here on my laptop, and I actually split all of my advice into 3 categories. So the first category is social, the second one is academic, and the third one is mental and physical health. Let's get into the social category. I really do think that being social in college is so important because college is all about what? It's about networking. Getting into my advice, one thing to know is that you need to be going to everything, especially as a freshman. Go to everything. I have a list of a few things. Football games. I haven't gone to a football game since last semester. My first semester as a literal senior in college. That was the first time I've ever gone to a football game. And I want to travel back in time and give myself a stern talking to because why did I never go to a football game before? Because don't get me wrong, I literally know nothing about football and I know nothing about sports. Like, that is not what I'm into at all. But I just had so much fun at these football games. Like, I don't know, like, who am I? But if you look at my Instagram, boom, boom, boom. I literally have so many posts about just the football games that I've gone to one semester. You know what I mean? Just imagine if I had gone to that first football game freshman year. And you can go to them for free because you're a college student at CSU. You know, there are so many other schools that don't provide their students free student tickets. Did you know that? But CSU does. So utilize that. The next thing is just go to that club meeting. And this is not from experience, this is from regrets. I regret so hard not going to a single CSU knitting club meeting. And I just feel like going to these club meetings is such a great way for you to be making friends and making memories and even learning skills. I didn't know about this until literally 2 months ago, but CSU has this thing called Ramfest, and this year Marcelo from SNL is gonna be here at CSU. And those of you who know him will know him, and those of you who don't won't. You know, I didn't really know him, but when my roommate heard his name, she literally screamed, and we bought the tickets so fast. And guess how much the tickets were to see this guy from SNL? $5. Yeah. So I'm excited to go to that. Literally, just if you go to CSU, pay attention to RAM events. Let me put their Instagram right here. Pay attention to them because they do so many cool things. I don't know if you've seen my short where I go to Anderson Farms, but I literally went to that for free. And I think the tickets are like $40, but I went for free and got to ride on the cool CSU bus. And yeah, it was just such a fun experience. I fear it's a core memory. I met alpacas, it was so much fun. So keep an eye out for their posts on Instagram because that's where I found out about all these. Next thing on the list is actually talk to the people on the plaza. Now, before you click off the video, I am talking about the people who are tabling like RAM events or club fairs and career fairs and stuff like that, because those do happen. Maybe not career fairs, but those do happen in the plaza. And honestly, they always have free stuff and they have free food. And so if nothing else, you can get free stuff and free food out of it, but also you can make friends by actually going to those clubs. Another big piece of advice that I would like to give you is don't go home every weekend. And honestly, get used to being lonely sometimes. I've had friends that did this and they went home every single weekend and they literally hated school for the longest time because they just had such a hard time making friends, but like they literally never hung out with people, you know? And so the weekends are the best time to be hanging out with people. And then also just like if you're gonna go home every single weekend, you're never really going to get used to being at school. Literally, like, just stay. Even if it's every other week that you go home instead of every week, that's better, you know? Have the opportunity, give yourself the opportunity to get to know your friends and get to step out of your comfort zone. And I know it's super hard to be homesick and things like that, but honestly, a lot of things in life are hard. Okay, and then here's another one. Hopefully this isn't controversial, but if your friends peer pressure you into doing dumb things, then maybe find new friends. They really just don't care about you if they're crossing your boundaries and then peer pressuring you, then are they truly your friends? Moving on to the academic portion of the video. Like I said earlier, I am graduating summa cum laude, and here's some of the things that really helped me maintain my GPA throughout college. But before I go into it, I will say that I don't think that your GPA is everything in college, but you are here to learn. So I do think it's kind of important. But yeah, I think everyone has different thoughts about it. That's just how I feel. One thing that I will say, and I know everyone says this piece of advice, but look up your professors on Rate My Professor. I think this is such a key thing to do. I do this religiously every time I need to do something or register for classes. It just kind of gives you a little bit of insight into what their teaching style is and what other people have said about them. You know, you might be a more type B person, but if it looks like your professor is type A, that might be a little bit hard, and vice versa. My next piece of advice would be to communicate with your professors. This is so important. This is so important. Your professors, at the end of the day, they're people. I just feel like it's important to talk with your professors. If there's something going on in your life, literally tell your professors. And honestly, in my experience at least, they have always been so understanding. Your professors are not out to get you. They are literally there to help you, and they're to help you learn, and they want you to learn, and they want you to succeed. So yeah, that would be one of my biggest pieces of advice. My next piece of advice is to go to class. If you literally take away nothing from this section of the video, take this one. Take this one. Go to class. You pay for it. If you're sick, then obviously it's different. If you're needing a mental health day, obviously that's different. But don't skip class just because you don't, just because you can, I guess. I feel like once you're in the habit of skipping class, it's a really, really hard habit to get out of. I just feel like you literally win half the battle. You're halfway there by just going to class. Yeah, so just go to class and pay attention at least 70 to 80% of the time, and you are halfway there. Another thing is to be self-aware. I think self-awareness is an overall big piece of advice, but in this case, in the academic case, I say to be self-aware because you know yourself best. I know there's a lot of advice saying don't sign up for 8 a.m.s, but I know people who signed up for 8 a.m.s and they're fine and they like it better than 2 p.m.s. I know myself, I'm self-aware, so I have never in my 4 years signed up for an 8 a.m. Also, if you are an incoming freshman, I personally loaded up all of my credits. I think I took 16 credits my first semester, and then my second semester I probably took 18 credits. I did that because I felt like I can handle it. Maybe on your first semester go a little bit easier on yourself, but I just feel like, me personally, I wanted to get as many credits done as possible before my senior year, so that senior year I can really just focus in on looking for jobs and working on my portfolio, and then also relaxing. Am I relaxing? But, you know, I could be a lot more stressed right now. And then kind of connecting to that point, I just want to say that you are in charge of your education and you are in charge of your academics. Your advisor is not the person that is going to do all the work for you. They're there to help you and guide you, but ultimately it's you that has to really like stay on top of what classes you need. I've known people who have relied too heavily on their advisors and there've been mistakes, and so they had to stay like an extra semester or something, and that's not ever something that someone wants to find out. So you are in charge of your academic career, no one else. Not the person who sits next to you that takes notes all the time, and not your friends, not your professors, not your advisor. You have to do it. Last section is health. Like I said earlier in the video, it is okay to take mental health days. Mental health is really something that you should not neglect in college. If you feel like you need a day off, like genuinely ask for a day off. Your world's not gonna end. Because I know I felt like that at some point. I felt like if I ask for a day off, then I'm gonna fail the class and everything's gonna be over and my professor's gonna hate me. That literally didn't happen. So just be transparent, like I said, to your professors and be like, hey, like mentally, I'm not doing well. I think I'm just gonna take a day off. And like I said, communicate with them and all will be well. This is really big on freshmen. Keep vitamin C, Dayquil, NyQuil, or like other cough medicine and allergy medicine and first aid readily available in your room. On a similar note, if you live in the dorms, I would recommend buying an air purifier. I know that was one of the first things that I bought freshman year, and I love her. I thank her every day because I think that's one of the reasons I like barely ever got sick freshman year. So another thing is to use your meal swipes. Now, how is this health? It is, because I know it's just so important to feed yourself in college. One of my biggest regrets as a senior, looking back freshman and sophomore year when I lived in the dorms, I didn't use up all my meal swipes. Like, what was I doing? That's money down the drain. So it's really important to eat food, drink your water, and the food. Honestly, I liked the dining hall foods. Ramshorn Express, the marketplace, they have like smoothies and stuff. I lived off those smoothies and I just wish I could go get them again, but now I have to pay my real money instead of using my meal swipes, right? And sometimes if you have meal swipes left over, because honestly sometimes it's a lot, just buy waters. That's what I did. I think that's a life hack because water doesn't go bad. And the next thing is to use the CSU gym. The CSU Rec Center is actually really, really nice, and I've been going to it every year, but this year I'm actually kind of like going around the gym instead of staying in one place, and it's actually so nice. And then on top of that, the CSU Rec has like gym or like fitness classes, and they're free for sign up. You have this gym membership. You know how expensive gym memberships can get? You have it, use it, and then sign up for those free classes. Yes, I love it. My last piece of advice would be to walk more. I think that in college, it's like really easy to just ride one of those like spin scooters all the time and like order food and like just not do anything. But I think that in college, it's also super easy to walk a lot. And I've really been loving walking recently. I think walking places, it's like killing two birds with one stone because you're being active and you're out like being outside. So I love walking. Anyways, so that is all of the advice that I have for you. And if I have more advice, maybe I'll make a short about it. But as of right now, those are the pressing things that I wanted to let you guys know as a graduating senior. But I literally can't believe that I am graduating soon, and I have loved my college experience so much. And for all of you who are watching because you're about to be freshmen at CSU, congrats. That is so exciting. And for everyone else too, enjoy your time at CSU because I know I definitely did. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one. Or not.